Hello, YouTube coin community. It's Robert with Coin Opp. And today we are going to be speaking with Mike and Daniel. Here we go. There's Daniel Malone with Coin Help You. Wave and say hi, Daniel.
Hello, everybody.
And that's Mike. He is the project manager and co-founder of MintState Coin Technologies. Either Mike or Daniel, either whoever. I think, Daniel, you start with it because everyone knows you and you can explain more about what we're going to be discussing tonight.
Well, the project is MintState Coin Technologies, as some of you already know, and Mike is the lead developer here. Also, like I said, co-founder, and me and Mike talk a lot about this and have kind of helped as far as with ideas and inspiration and things like that come from me. But it's Coin Technology. MintState Coin Technologies is coin software for the coin collector. We have a coin values. We also have where you can track your coin collection. And then upcoming in the future will be an artificial intelligence coin grading application that can potentially be used to give you an idea of the grade of your coins. Also, right now, we do have a coin identifier that you can use to kind of help you practice a little bit when we do have the AI out and ready to go. Then it also has another app that just came out, is a silver stacking app or gold precious metals. If you stack precious metals, you can go in and you can stack your precious metals, or you can track them and you can add them, and you have your collection up. So that's Mike, and he's behind the ideas, man, as far as how things are done, putting things together as far as the code and putting the site as the ideas. If you send him an email, this is the guy you send the email to, and he tries his best to improve, add, update, and different things like that. Because this software is the future of coin collecting software, and I say that without any boundaries, because I honestly believe with this being the kind of software that a coin collector can help develop on the outside as far as what it does for the coin collector. There's no other software out there that does that, or it has done that. So we allow input, and we take the input seriously, and we do everything we can to try to add those features to the program, and also it's designed towards the coin collector.
Yep.
Proofs will eventually. You want me to answer that, Daniel? Proofs eventually will be added. As you know, there's a lot of different coin types out there right now. There's it's almost 50,000 different pricing, based on the grade, the type, the different designations, different varieties, and so forth. There's just a lot of pricing out there. We're trying to pull it in. What we started with is what we thought would be kind of the most common. What a lot of people would use, the majority. But we know that there's collectors in every corner of the coin community. Some are specializing in collecting in proofs, and special mint sets will be added eventually. Gold coins we don't have yet. We are adding designations at this point, and I don't know if that question, if that user had used it before, but if you go to like the coin value, a lot of it is based on this coin value. Once we have the pricing there, we do want to link it into the collection so that your pricing can be updated automatically, or at least have that option. So until we have a lot of the other designations, proofs, and whatnot in the system, the coin collection part will be kind of manual. You can put in your pricing, you can put in that it is a proof, and so forth, under the variety and whatnot, because it's kind of free form. It'll become more rigid, or it can become more rigid, where the automation will take over a little bit for you and help you update your collection in the future.
That's something I would like you to talk about a little bit, Mike, is that, you're using artificial intelligence for a lot of this. I don't know how much of it. I know for the grading, and I know some other things, the coin identifier. So maybe expound on that a little bit. How much is that being used?
Sure. Well, definitely for anything that deals with the images of coins will be based on AI technology. So you're uploading a photo of a coin and you want it identified. But for some, it is of assistance, and it's a way for us to kind of demonstrate the AI technology. Once you upload a photo, it goes into commercial quality AI neural networks, the same networks that Microsoft, Google use. In fact, it's their models. They are extremely powerful. They're very big. It takes a lot of server resources to train on the images, and it also takes a lot of resources just to take your photo and identify which it is. It's about 4 gigs of memory per run of the predictor model. The AI, as far as identification, is fairly standard, typical. It's called a classification model. For the grader, though, you have to go way beyond a category classifier. And that's where our proprietary technology, our systems, our processes come in. We tried to do the standard, and it was like throwing darts at a dartboard, and you're not a professional. The grade just wasn't there. It might get close occasionally. So we had to think way outside the box, and we've done that. It took us, 6 months to a year to really figure it out. We've gotten to pretty good accuracy, and we're waiting for a little bit more budget to perfect it. It's like anything else. It's if you take cell phones, even better, the auto driving cars, as an example. It doesn't come about overnight. Someone doesn't get the idea and they throw it in the magic AI machine and out pops the answer. It started decades ago with cruise control, and then adaptive cruise control, and then lane departure, and the technology's got there for navigation systems, the LiDAR that they use now. It just, the technology and the programming and the processes, they all improve over time. And this is how this will be as well. Photos can only go so far, especially if the quality of the photos aren't consistent. So we have to do the best with what the technologies are right now, but knowing that version 1 can only get better with version 2 and version 3. So we're trying to produce a first version that is not going to be disappointing to people. It's not going to be dart throwing. It's going to be pretty close, and with the knowledge that it will get better and better.
Okay. If you'd like, just to let everyone know, I have played with the beta testing to help a little bit. I don't have as much time as I'd like Daniel. I'm busy, but actually it's kind of fun. My son seen me doing it, and he played on my computer and my login information, but he played with it for about an hour. He almost played it as a game, to be honest. So he was having a good time. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Let me change screens, and if you'd like to show Mike a little bit of.
Well, it's just to remind everybody, the identifier is available, to the public. If I go to the main screen here, if you go to AI Coin Identifier, you can launch the application right here or from the menu and so forth. The AI Coin Grader is not publicly available yet. It's only, it's in development. It's only available to certain people that are testing and programming, developing it. But to give you an idea, here's one of the screens. And just to kind of describe what you are seeing here, you're hearing my phone. We've uploaded a Morgan dollar here, and in a prior step, it's kind of a 5-step process. But we've uploaded a Morgan dollar, and one of the first steps was to center it. But we're at step 4 here, and what it's doing is there's a template on the screen here. And what it's wanting you to do is align the coin up so that the template matches the details of the coin. You only have to get it close. In fact, I'll kind of mess this one up a little bit. And if you zoom in on it, well, here, we'll put it in color. You'll see that, it might be hard to tell on the TV screen or whatever, but we're not really aligned very well. But if you get it close, what you do, and you can use these controls to get it close. And by the way, if you're on a mobile phone, you can use rotate, 2-finger rotate, and pinch it to change the zoom and drag it around with your finger. But when you get it close, you can check the alignment. The system has a special programming that'll go in and align this perfectly to the template. The template was designed to accommodate, the different VAMs for the different years and so forth. So there's a little bit of slack, a little slop in there, but it uses that to adjust alignment. So here it said, well, what you had was kind of close, and I needed to rotate it a little. I needed to zoom it a little, and I actually needed to adjust the camera angle because you want to be 90 degrees perpendicular to the coin when you take the picture to get it to match the template. So I can apply those changes. And now if we zoom in on the coin, you'll see that, the template here, all the characters and details and so forth are within the boundaries. So it does take a little practice. I think Daniel mentioned this, as far as using the controls and getting it close enough where this check alignment will work for you. If you're way off and you hit check alignment, it'll say, well, I'm going to move it a little, which I think is better, but it's not close, and I know it, and the system knows it. So you need to adjust it again, or press the check alignment button one more time and wait, the 10 seconds it takes or so, and it'll get a little closer and closer and closer. But once it's there, you can continue on to next steps, and the next steps will, you'll do the reverse, of course, and then it'll take that information, those images aligned, and pass it through multi-layers of AI intelligence and algorithms and convolution filters and Fourier transforms. There's just a lot involved there. It takes about 30 seconds. Or it can take up to that long, and it'll give you an estimate of the grade. We aren't quite done with it. We need more samples, and we need some more fine tuning. We found that the photos coming in from the general public, we needed to calibrate the system for the types of pictures we were getting, the quality of the pictures they were getting. So that's kind of the process that's involved right now.
I mean, this is not going to stop. It may be at a slow crawl on as far as the artificial intelligence grading, but slowly but surely it'll eventually happen. Just wait for some more stars to align here. They'll happen. But I think the slow pace is actually pretty good because you get a chance to really look at it. You're not just cramming it until then the next thing you know, you got a mess on your hands. Of course, like I said, you're the developer, so you know more a little bit about that than I do, but you can get too much too soon sometimes and things.
Now, what Mike is doing right now in that program, I did this for a little bit in the beta testing. It looks a little different now. They've updated it. However, this was the part that I was talking about where I helped with the beta. Is it still, Mike, to where you can be too far out of bounds to where you have to?
Yeah, that just happened to me. I just kind of quickly threw it close and said check alignment. What the alignment's going to do, it's going to check. It actually is checking millions of combinations in this few seconds that it's working, but it's rotating it. It's changing its position, horizontal and vertical. It's skewing it for the camera angle. It's zooming in and out. It's trying it all to find the best combination of control settings that match. And here it thinks it found it, but it's needed a little more rotation, a little more zoom, and a little change in the vertical. And so it took me 2 times to get to that. You wouldn't want to start off with it being just way out of alignment. You'd be clicking that, 50 times, or it might even get into an area where it gets stuck. You have to have it fairly close, and it will eventually get to the best alignment.
Right now, Mike Esmack asked, "Is this for U.S. coins only?"
Currently it is. Like it's just like not having all the the proofs and so forth in our pricing table. We have to start somewhere. We've started with U.S. coins as kind of our base. We would love to have the budget to expand to foreign coins, but that's not in the near-term plans.
And actually, everybody, just to let you know how far it's came, when I first started helping work with some of the beta, like I said, I did very minimal amounts of it. I think at that time you only had the Morgans that we were playing with. I mean, you may have been developing something else, but I only worked on the Morgans.
Morgans is what we chose for our first, our grading attempt. It's a
My
very
fault.
popular clone.
It's
What?
my fault.
It's your fault.
I love Morgan. Well, it was a big coin, and
It's
everybody.
a very popular coin. We probably, we're going to be able to find more samples of it because of that and so forth. So that's what we started with, and that's what we created the prototype to grade. But yes, we intend for it not only to do Morgans, but for every coin type that we can. We'll probably bring them in the order of request or popularity. The process is at the final stages as far as what needs to be done for each coin type. And, once that is finalized, then it's just a matter of replicating the tasks involved for each different coin type.
And if you're watching that, you just saw it grade the coin, basically.
Right.
Here it's saying, based on that photo, it's grade 8. And not sure what grade it was, but
I have to look, but it looked pretty close to that. I thought very good was my eyes.
You'll also see you get a distribution curve. So it may not be a grade 8, but maybe there's a chance it's a grade 6 or a grade 10, the grade on either side of it. Our goal is to be straight on, right on the grade. If you were to run the photo of a commercially graded coin in a slab, we want to match that at least 50% of the time. And the other 50% would be broken down into 40% of the time. It's just one grade off, one grade to either side. And the remaining 10% would be 2 grades off. So that's where we see the limitations. It's not necessarily the limitations, but where we've established our first benchmark. We want to get to that accuracy. And then we can move beyond that. Where we are seeing kind of inconsistencies is in the photos that are being submitted. So we have to adjust and calibrate for that. Put some systems in place that help identify that, hey, this is kind of a low contrast picture. You might want to take a better one, or adjust the grade, based on that. There's only so much we can do there, but those are the types of things that we're putting into the system.
Can I point out, if you don't mind, I recently, and I just wanted to bring this up because, sometimes it may not be that the application is off. It may be that the grading company itself is off, because I just bought a 3-legged buffalo I'm not going to mention the company's name, but they graded it a VF20, and I submitted it to a well-known grading company, and it came back at XF45. That's a big disparaging in numbers there. But the only thing I'm wanting to point out is the application is pretty accurate. I've played with it, and I know what the coin grades were. And I would say your numbers were low there. I think when I did it, 98% of the time, the number was dead on the coin that I was showing. So
Because we had good images, and like you said, the better images, the easier.
Yeah, when we had very consistent images, the accuracy was higher, quite a bit higher. But what we found with real world type images that people would be submitting, that we're wanting to calibrate for those.
Pentoff is asking, been quietly watching AI, fascinating, whether it's intelligence or imaging. This is the future. Do you guys need investors? Like I said, it's get over on mintstate.com, send Mike an email. You can talk to him about that, or donate button it however you want to. We appreciate everybody that's even considering that. Just watching the video, we appreciate it. That's good enough there. But it's definitely we're looking for anybody that's interested in helping in any way they want to, because that's what this is about. This is kind of a community effort here that we're trying to put it together as. So it benefits everybody.
There's a lot of expertise out there in the people that have been commenting. We could use some expertise in someone who's had a successful crowdfunding campaign. That's something I've never done. I don't think Daniel has either. He hasn't mentioned it. But if you have some expertise or know somebody who has some expertise, that's one way to fund this project. Again, influencers. If you're involved with a coin club, you run a coin club, or the people in charge, coin shows and so forth, YouTube channels, any way to drive traffic to the site, not only gives us exposure, but also generates pennies towards our budget for each use.
And